Today there will be our second day of working with Blizzard. She's been in here with Blamine, so she's kind of been interacting with us and been able to rub on her and stuff. So I think she's pretty much going to let me just come on in. So I'm just going to work my way up to her and get to where I can rub on her. And I'm just going to follow her around the round pen here, stepping a little bit in front of her just to kind of block her, to slow her down a little bit. There, she's checking in. So that's nice. And now I'm just going to follow her. Coming on up to her, I'm rubbing on her, just waiting on her to get comfortable. And now I'm going to slowly start cutting her off, kind of running her into the round pen panels by getting a little farther forward, a little more and a little more. Now, once she's halted here, I'm just going to wait on her again. Just rubbing on her, kind of getting in her way subtly to help her halt. Now I want to get to where I'm coming up to her. Stand with your feet facing forward slightly, or stand with your feet facing forward, and you're slightly in front of their front feet. Now you see how I've got my hand kind of hooked over her pole here, her head, and I'm just tipping her nose to me. And so she wants to walk and she's just going around and around. So I just keep her tipped to me until she halts. Now let's see if I can get her to move one more step so you guys can see me okay. I'm going to step her hind over there. So it's like you're standing in a little bit of a pocket here. You're having them bend around. Now I've got my halter and I'm holding the halter just below the barn knot. And I've got my right arm over, ideally, like she's perfect here, having her head down. Think of the pole should be no higher than your armpit. And she has it just a little bit lower, which is really good. And she's kind of bent around me. So what I'm going to do is take the halter, reach underneath, and then I grab the tail, the barn knot tail here. And if you've got a really sensitive horse, you might open that knot up even before you come here. And then I'm going to take the belly part of the... Hold on there, Blizzard. So see how she's wanting to walk off, and I can just keep asking her to tip her head. So I'll show you that again. I've got the lead rope through the halter here. I come on in, reach over with my right hand here, ask her to tip her nose to me. I'm holding my halter just below the barn knot there. I reach underneath, grab the tail, pop it open. And now what I can do is take the lead rope and I can just pop it up onto, and I'll show you that here. Let's turn. So the lead rope's hanging there on the center of the halter, and all I have to do is pop it up onto my hand. Now if you've got a sensitive horse, no, you're not going to do that. You're just going to set it up there. But now all I have to do is open my fingers up here, take the halter. If the horse wants to tip his head away, I use this hand up on the pole to say, no, keep your nose to me. Hook the halter over, and then I'm going to just rock it back and forth. She's got a fairly big head here, so this halter's just a tad on the small side. So I just kind of rub it back and forth up her nose. And now once I have it up on her nose, I'm going to shift her here so you can see. Now I'm going to tie the knot. I take the tail, I stick the tail through. With my right hand, I'm going to hold the knot, or hold the loop and the tail with these 3 fingers. I'm going to take, like I'm cutting with scissors here, and I'm going to go around the part that's going over their pole, and I take my thumb and I place it underneath on the loop. So I'm squeezing with all 3 of those fingers there. I take the tail end here, I go underneath my thumb. Hold on there, Blizzard. Yep, we're getting to it. So she wants to walk off. I'm just going to tip her, get her back into view. See how I can hold with these 3 fingers. Now I'm going to take the tail underneath my thumb, hold with my middle finger. So I'm sticking it under, hold, grab the tail, pull it through and stick it right into where my thumb was. Take my thumb out and draw the tail through, and voila, you have it there. And the tail, you want the tail sticking out the back. The biggest thing here is you want the knot to wrap around the loop, not to wrap around up on itself. So if you have the knot around the loop, you know you have it right. Because if you have it up here, it's just a granny knot. If it's wrapped around itself, it's just a granny knot, and it can work loose. So that's haltering. How to put the halter on and making it just a really smooth process of going from, not haltering, teaching the horse to put its head down and around to you, because eventually that's going to prepare them for bridling. Okay, so we've got Blizzard here. We've got her haltered. Now it's time to take her on and start getting her to follow the feel and take her and move her and do some things. And so what we're starting off with is, can we get her to follow a feel? So if I pick up a feel on the halter, will she follow that? And I pretty much just I've got my hand open, just have her hooked in my thumb a little bit, and she's following that. So that's real nice. And I'm just kind of walking around and around and not going just straight forward, getting her to just kind of come along with me. And if she gets locked up, then I just go more at an angle. And there she followed, so now I'm going to step off to this side. And just kind of walking around. Yeah. So the idea here is to get her to follow the feel. And I want you to think of the way that I'm using the term feel is less than 2 pounds, ideally less than a pound, but it's when it starts getting over a pound to 2 pounds, or really over 2 pounds, I'm thinking of it more as a hold, because you're having to just hold them to have them come off of it. But with the feel, it's like she's following the feel. So if she follows the feel and she's real soft, I can go with it. We can go someplace with it. But if she's leaning and she's heavy, then I need to hold and say, hey, come off of that. So that's the difference. Is a hold is more when they're still resisting, they're leaning on you, they're heavy. Where the feel is when you pick up and you put a little feel on there, maybe it's a few ounces, and they go, oh sure, I'd love to go with that. Then you can just keep going. Now if she would get heavy, like there, she might get heavy, now I'm just going to hold. So now it goes into a hold. I may have to move my feet a little to unlock that heaviness there. And as soon as she does, I can release and go, oh, thank you. And then if she stays following the feel, I can go walk off and do some things. And there she gets stuck again, so then I set up and I just hold. I wait on her. Waiting on her, there, and she unlocks. I can go the other direction. Set up and hold. And as soon as she comes off, in the very beginning, I'll just release and quit. But as the horse progresses, I can take that feel and we can do more. We can go someplace. See how I'm just walking around and around? Yeah, trying to get her to really unlock those feet. So no matter where she feels the feel on her, she follows it. She goes along with that. Yes. And if she gets heavy, then I just wait and I set up and hold. Yeah. There. And see now, she's following with me. With a really soft feel, she gets stuck. I just go off to the side. Unlock her front end, and then we go off again. Nice. And she's getting to where she's just following me. And if she stops or gets heavy at all, when she's straight behind me, then I just go left or right to unlock it. And that was really good. So I'm going to give that to her. And just come back and rub on her. Reward her for all of that. And then we'll pick up, say, hey, can you follow the feel? So this is really the beginning of teaching them to lead. Hey, nice. So she's really staying with me here. There she's stuck, so I pick up and just put a hold. And step off to the side, getting her to follow. Yeah. And that's good. So those are some ideas on teaching your horse the beginning of following a feel, the beginning of leading them around, taking some place, and she's catching on to this really well. You know, it's getting that feel. You're always stepping off to the side, left or right. Don't get into just saying, hey, I'm going to go forward, because they're going to lock up their feet and just go, nope, I'm not going. And then you're kind of stuck. So then it turns into a tug of war. So make sure if they do that, you step off to the side, left or right, get them to unlock those feet laterally. And then once they've done that, then you can say, hey, would you like to come off with me? And she's like, oh, sure, I'll come with you. And then you can go off. And then if she gets stuck there, I can just go left or right. And I'm just using feel here. So I'm not going to pull her, I'm just going to hold. She gets stuck, I'm holding, so I just step off more at an angle till she unlocks, and then we can go off. And this is good. There she gets stuck, so I step off. And she's actually getting a little bored inside of the round pen here. So what I'll do, just open the round pen and take her on out. And I'm going to have her buddy out here too, so she might want to go with her. So before I take her out, I want to make sure I have a good enough connection with her that she doesn't just tear off to go see her buddy. And there she's kind of says, oh, let me go over there. See there, she's wanting to go with her buddy, so I'm just giving her some line, letting her drift around, but just saying, hey, I'm still over here. Can you follow a feel? Because these Nakotas, they've never been confined. And so for them to go, oh my gosh, I can't just go where I want to go, it takes them a bit of time to understand that they're connected to a human now. Hey, there you are. So we don't have the confines of the round pen. So I'm just getting her to, she's finding her boundaries right now. And then I'll set up. Coming around, and then I can go walk off and ask her, do you want to come with me? She's like, no, I'd rather go with my buddy over there. There you go. Coming with me some. And so it's just lots and lots of back and forth. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So she kind of let go, starting to come with me, and I just go back and forth. Saying, hey, I'm over here. There you go. Not getting in a hurry of saying, this is where I want you to go. It's like, I'm not saying, hey, you got to get over here, or you got to go there. It's more just teaching her to follow this feel. Nice. So I can just, there, she's leaning, so I just wait on her, holding, holding. There. That's good. Kind of going along. Yeah. So can I keep asking her back and forth, to go in the direction she doesn't really want to go. She wants to go out there with her buddy. So can I just keep bringing her back and forth this way? Waiting on her here, holding, holding, putting a little more feel on. Just waiting on her. There. As soon as she unlocks, I release. And I might go in the direction she wants a little bit, and then say, oh, let's go this way. Yeah. All right, Missy. Let's adjust your halter here. Halter's getting a little low, and so I'll just adjust it up. And you know, every horse is a bit different. Some horses, they feel that feel, they'll go backwards. Some want to just take off and run. So you have to adjust what you're doing, but I'm just showing you with this kind of horse what you're going to do. And she's about done here too. She's like, okay, I've given you what I've got for today. And I'm going to leave her with that because she's really followed my feel nice, and she's trying hard here, and we'll leave her with that. So again, just make sure when you start off with the horse, usually it's going to be young horses that you're doing this with, is you get the halter on, is go back and forth and get him to follow that feel. And your feel is like from a pound to, well, up to 2 pounds. Ideally less than a pound, but up to 2 pounds. Once it starts getting over 2 pounds, think of it more as a hold. And the feel, when they're less than that 2 pounds, you can just kind of go with them. If they come off, you can go with it. But if it's more than that, you're going to hold. You're going to stay there until they release. And as soon as they release, like here, I'm going to give back. To teach them, you want them coming off of that pressure. So those are the key things I want you to think about when you're teaching a horse to lead.